All right. Welcome to another video. This is fractalization. I talk a little bit about it throughout some of the videos, but fractals. Fractals are found throughout our entire world, our entire ecosystem, everything around you, the things in your body, the things in the space, throughout the universe, plants, trees, seashells, ocean waves, um, tree bark, and the markets. So inside of the trading markets, right? If you're on the daily time frame and you go to the 4 hour time frame, technically you're just, going from high time frame to low time frame. There's another term called fractalization where you take one candle and then when you drop the time frame, it expands into more candlesticks. That idea is called fractalization. There's a pattern within a pattern. Okay. So fractals are complex and intricate geometric shapes that exhibit self-similarity at different scales, right? As I was just saying, you're on the daily, you go down to the 4 hour, self-similarity at different scales. When you zoom in on a part of a fractal, you'll see a pattern that resembles the whole fractal. And this self-similar pattern repeats infinitely as you continue to zoom in. Fractals are often characterized by their fractional or non-integer dimension, which is a departure from the familiar Euclidean geometry. Fractional or non-integer dimension, right? So we're going to take a look. Fractals have applications in various fields: mathematics, physics, computer graphics, and art. They can also be used to model natural phenomena such as coastlines, clouds, mountain ranges, as well as the compression of images and the generation of a realistic computer-generated landscapes. Why am I why am I going over fractals with you, ladies and gentlemen? Is because it's good to get more knowledge in the space of science and mathematics and quantum physics, because when you look at the market and you become more knowledgeable about what you're looking at, you just gain a better understanding. More and more, the more and more you learn, the more and more understanding you have of how things play a role together. And fractals play a huge, massive role in identifying uh, patterns within the market, just like there's patterns within our world. So that's why we are going over fractals. And I'm actually going to share a short video with you guys um, about fractalization and how it's actually in our world today. So before we actually continue, I am going to go to the video and we're gonna watch it.
What do galaxies, cloud formations, your nervous system, mountain ranges, and coastlines all have in common? They all contain never-ending patterns known as fractals. A classic example of a fractal in nature is broccoli, in that the whole stalk is a similar version of one of its branches. So cut off one piece, and you're left with a smaller version of the entire broccoli. Snowflakes are another example. It's often said that no two snowflakes are ever the same. And fractals offer a fascinating explanation as to why nature works in this way. Why nature continuously creates new, self-replicating, yet unique structures, and how the smallest things in existence are necessary components of the greater whole. The term fractal was coined by Benoit Mandelbrot, who was working at computer giant IBM in 1980. Mandelbrot had been fascinated by discoveries of mathematicians from the early 19th century who were attempting to define their understanding of what a curve is. Experiments such as George Cantor's discovery that a single line could be divided forever, and Helga von Koch's triangle, a shape that has an infinite perimeter but finite area, resulted in the term monsters. Mandelbrot used the modern computing powers developed by IBM to run these monster equations millions of times over. This process led him to a breakthrough equation combining the patterns found in previous monsters, resulting in his own set of numbers. This would become known as the Mandelbrot set, an infinite geometrical visualization of a fractal. One of the most amazing things about the Mandelbrot set is that theoretically, if left by itself, would continue to create infinitely new patterns from the original structure, proving that something could be magnified forever. Fractal geometry is currently applied in many fields, for example, research into climate change and the trajectory of dangerous meteorites, helping with cancer research by helping to identify the growth of mutated cells. It's even believed by some that the universe itself may be a fractal. And as you zoomed in, discover it made up of billions of galaxies. Inside of those galaxies, you would find trillions of stars and billions of solar systems and planets. And on one of those planets, you would find Earth. On Earth, you would find continents, cities, and a human. And inside of that human, you would find a brain made of millions of cells, in which you would find trillions of synapses firing. And inside of those, you would find DNA. Inside DNA, you would find atoms, electrons, protons, neutrons. Deeper still, you would find quarks, neutrinos, and so on. And then, just maybe, continuously deeper into infinity. Some believe that due to their highly complex and mysterious nature, the greatest use of fractals is yet to be discovered.
Sheesh. Wow. Wow. So, yeah, that's pretty crazy stuff. I'm not gonna lie, that video, 3-minute video is pretty mind-blowing. For it to zoom all the way in from the galaxies all the way to the neutrons, protons, and electrons inside of your body. So, without getting too let's let's apply this to the charts, right? Let's really look at the candlesticks and the patterns and see how we can break that up and apply this to trading. So when traders analyze a market from a high time frame to a low time frame, the chart breaks up into fractals. Self-similarity is seen on all scales analyzing patterns on the charts. Traders can identify potential reversal points in the price movement of currency pairs. In trading, a fractal is a specific 5-candlestick pattern that can provide valuable information about market direction. So we're going to look at the potential reversal points in price movement of currency pairs. Okay. A fractal consists of 5 candlesticks, with the middle candlestick having the highest high for a bearish fractal or the lowest low for a bullish fractal, compared to the 2 candlesticks on each side. So a bearish fractal forms when the middle candlestick has the highest high and is flanked by 2 lower highs on each side. See? A bearish fractal forms when the middle candlestick has the highest high and is flanked by 2 lower highs on each side. Notice I put in the arrows, right? So notice that this, and we're also on the 1-hour time frame, okay? We're on the 1-hour time frame, okay? We have the highest high, which is created by a wick. The candlestick to the left is lower than the one in the middle, and then the one to the right is lower than the one in the middle. That is called a bearish fractal. Notice how price does end up trading away from where it created the fractal. Now, if you're looking at this price, look, like if we were to just analyze the price, okay, what about this over here? Notice this. This is a bearish fractal, right? You have a high and then a low and a low. How come price didn't trade away? It tried to. We had 1, 2, 3, 4 candlesticks that were met with selling pressure. The market just did not sell away. Notice how the wicks continue to be higher. What about this one right here? This could be a bearish fractal, right? You have a high and then a low and a low. That's a bearish fractal, right? It is. Continues to trade higher, right? Continues to trade higher. What about this one? High, low, low. So that's when we get into that's when we get into other conformations, because you can't just trade fractals. Do you know what I mean? Like, you cannot just trade the candlesticks forming like that. That's not, you can't just trade that, right? So I'm going to continue going, and we're going to get into how we can trade with fractals, okay? A bullish fractal forms when the middle candlestick has the lowest low and is flanked by two higher lows on each side. So now we're looking at a bullish fractal forming, right? Where we have the lowest low, and then the two candles to the right and the left are both above the middle candle, okay? Flanked by two higher lows on each side. So that would be your bullish fractal, okay? Now, notice this, right? This middle candle, so now we're just gonna look. After this third candle gets created, and then this candle gets created, if we look, right, this is lower than this, but that one's higher than this. So that wouldn't even be considered a fractal, right? This one as well. Boom. See how it's trending? And then see how it gives us a bearish fractal here, where we have highest candlestick and then a low and a low. This candle, this wick comes all the way down. So technically the bearish candle played effect, right? It's this candle still sold, right? And then it popped up higher, and we have another bearish fractal form. Now remember, we were looking at the bullish fractal, but like I said, how about this one over here? This is a bullish fractal where you have your low, your high, and your high. So that would be a bullish fractal form, your 3-candle bullish fractal. There's also such things as 5-candle fractals, where you have, just like this example, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So your middle candle is the lowest, and then each candle to the left and the right, it's like a 2-candle. So you look at the candles to the left and then the candles to the right. You have each candlestick, the wick is higher than each wick before it, which is a 5-candle fractal. Now that's getting a little complicated, and I don't know how good you guys are at viewing the charts now in the advanced videos, but you should be doing pretty well. So now we're going to go to the 5-minute, and we are still looking at the same chart as before. We're looking at the 1 hour on Euro USD. Same exact chart now on the 5-minute, okay? Now we're on the 5-minute, and we're on the smaller time frame. So we fractalize the chart to now look at fractalizations on the candlesticks. What do we see here? We have our highest high. Candlestick to the left is lower than that one, and the candlestick to the right is just barely lower than that one. And then it trickles downward, right? So it, boom, starts the trend, right? Starts the trend, comes back up, creates another bearish fractal, middle, left, right, lower, trickles downward. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. I don't see really a whole lot of bullish fractals getting created here. We have another bearish fractal here. Middle, left is lower, right is lower. Beautiful. Okay. Comes down. Boom. Trades higher. Boom. We have another bearish fractal. Middle, left is lower, right is lower. Beautiful. We trickle down even more. We create a bullish fractal. You have your middle candle, the candle to the right, and the candle to the left. That's a bullish candle. Price trades higher on the 5-minute for a retracement. Then creates another bearish fractal. Middle, left is lower, right is lower. Boom. Trades lower, clearing the bullish fractal. Okay. So that's an example of smaller time frame fractals. Extreme fractals will usually be retested, which can be traded using Fibonacci. So there's something called extreme fractals, where you have volatility, where you have a wick that is super volatile that gets created and usually gets retested more than once. So for example, you have this massive, massive candle to the upside, where you have the middle candle being extremely high, the candle to the left is lower, and then the candle to the right is lower. But notice how it retests that right candlestick twice before actually going lower. There we go, right? Notice here how on the opposite, on the same three candles that form, the same three candles that form a bearish fractal also technically form a bullish fractal, where you have this middle candle is low, this one is a little bit higher, and this one's higher. So technically, right? Technically, you also have a bearish fractal in the same bearish fractal. Pretty crazy stuff. Pretty crazy stuff. Same with here, right? Middle candle, candle higher, bullish fractal. But how about this one, right? Where you have a bullish fractal here, but then you look up and the top of this wick, this wick is higher than this wick. So then this would not be a bearish fractal. Boom. The next 15 minutes are higher, right? And then you're looking and you're like, okay, this candle creates a high, lower, lower, bearish fractal. So we have another bearish fractal get formed right here. And then it trades what? Lower. Now check this out. This middle candle that we were looking at that created a bearish fractal does not create a bullish fractal because the left candle's higher, but the right candle is lower. Now it's starting to crack to make sense a little bit, right? Now it's starting to make sense a little bit. So let's continue. Let's continue. It trades lower, right? Back to this zone. Okay. We have a what? A middle candle. This is the middle candle right here. Okay. This is the middle candle that we're looking at. To the left, higher. Okay. To the right, lower. Boom. Does not form a bearish fractal. This candle pops up. This candle pops up. Okay. We have our low. To the left is a little higher. To the right is a little handle. Okay. Bullish fractal. This 3 candle series is a bullish fractal. But then it pops up and it creates a what? Bearish fractal. Left is lower, right is lower, trades lower. Then we have 2 equal highs. 2 equal highs are not fractals. And then it just tanks to the downside. So a little complicated. This one, that's why fractals is in advance, because you use fractals, you use them as confirmations in your trade setups. That's all they're used for is for confirmations to confirm that whatever direction of the trend you're trading in or the confirmation you're looking for, the fractals can be used as just an extra confirmation to help confidence in your bias. If you come across another way to utilize fractals, let me know. Let me know. Hit me up, text it in the group chat, send your chart markup. I want to see it. I want to make sure that I'm still a student to the game and always learning, because you could always teach anyone else something that you discover. So don't be afraid to share. But guys, that's going to go ahead and do it. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody, that is going to do it for fractalizations and fractals. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.